Okay, let's see how these guys have been doing. And another question. Oh, is this with the IA? Or we're gonna involve them in some way. N7000 would laud you for your service to the cafe. Greetings, Gaddis. This unit commends your fulfillment of objectives relating to the care and feeding of Grebeloff customers. Pescatarian menu items in particular have met with high approval ratings. Current mission is proceeding, as audio records indicate your people would say, swimmingly. Ha 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 ha. We've learned much from the Corellians and Grebulovs, and the Last Dregs is now the site of a joyful cultural exchange, but don't take our word for it, come and see. Oh, now this I do have to see. Oh, I forgot how cute these little guys were. What is that he's eating, though? We should keep an eye on that one. They've already polished off 3 bowls of soup today. A soup fan, huh? Well-fed Grebulovs provide important mission data. Soup-related sacrifices must be made. Oh, you like making customers happy? Admit it. This unit merely acknowledges customer satisfaction as more conducive to mission objectives than mutual hostility. Speaking of which, Patron 05 and 06 should be closely monitored. Try changing the subject on me, will you? Wait, who are Patron 05 and Patron 06? Are these new guys? Oh, the hooded ones? So they are the other race that was in the Dead Ends dungeon. Hail, newcome patrons. I, Jamming Away, would like to personally welcome you to the Last Dregs. Can you tell me a bit about your home star? See, these guys were the ones that made that creepy sphinx-like monster at the end of the dungeon that was meant to humanely murder them, like voluntarily. So these ones might be tough customers. Analyzing metaphysical waveform. Nihilism protocols activated. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, are they gonna like try to drink poison or something? Uh-oh, wow. It has shared in our truth and shed the self. This is well. The universe, too, is finite. Only in death may we embrace true infinity. Cultists. Did you just assassinate my barista? Why would you do that? Creepy. Situational analysis complete. New customers are of the Nibiruun civilization. This society eliminated concepts deemed unpleasant by organic life forms such as war and death. In so doing, individuals attained physical immortality and a state of unified comprehension. Their projections were insufficient, however. The Nibiruun people only realized that the elimination of strife would similarly destroy their sources of joy when it was too late. At that point, they jointly decided it would be preferable to return to non-existence. Oh, Jesus. Pardon this unit for a moment. Halting shutdown processes. Troubleshooter initialized. Repair features and self-determination algorithm restored. Yeah, how do you turn your friend back on? Why have you returned this being to the finite? The golden mercy of Ra-La was so close at hand. Sweet mother, this is terrifying. Cultural exchange be damned. We can't let them near the other patrons. On the contrary, this unit believes that exposure to other civilizations may benefit these customers and invites them to tour the local simulations of dead worlds. To be certain, the nature of other civilizations is a long-held curiosity of ours. It may be interesting to discuss their inherent futility. That is the spirit. All societies in Ultima Thule are subject to unique manifestations of despair. So this unit recommends comparing each to the tragic perfection of the Nibiruun. We are in favor. To arrive at philosophical resonance with such beings will fill much time before blessed obliteration. What the hells? I hope you have a plan to prevent this place from falling to despair. Yeah, you better have a plan. I'm not dealing with this again. You have already demonstrated to the people of Ultima Thule that despair can be overcome. Projections indicate that, once restored, hope is not so easily extinguished. I mean, you turned off the barista pretty easily. So you think they'll be able to help each other, like you saved M104 just now? I suppose I should be glad they took you up on it. Those Nibiruun make my fur stand on end. I don't want them anywhere near Elysian. It would be nice if you could cure them of their ennui, of course, but I cannot see how. The Nibiruun are the last dead civilization with sufficient data for replication. Should it prove impossible to turn them into satisfied customers, the probability of further developments on Elysian is low. Oh, that is frustrating. Why must they be so much scarier than the other two? I retract my complaints about our soup budget. Yeah, why wouldn't you want to feed cute little space seals? Oh. Well, what if we invite patrons from another civilization instead? The Ia, for instance. Oh, God. But the Ia also believe in futility. Since they are also immortal, there's no reason we have to build all our own customers. There's no reason we have to build all our own customers, and they seem rather thoughtful. At the very least, it would make good practice in philosophical debate. This unit cannot guarantee that any amount of practice would prepare you to treat with the Nibiruun. However, it agrees that inviting local life forms to the last dregs would be good for business. Are you guys just forgetting about the sad-ass dragons that are just in the corner that could use cheering up? Alright, well... Yeah, the Ia were similarly talking about, like, now that they are immortal... Oh, wait. I need to go to the right one. Okay. When they're immortal, there's no point to any of it. I mean, they wanted to give themselves physical bodies back so they could properly kill themselves. Oh, I also forgot. Just a second. Okay. Let's see here. Where is the right Ia to talk to? Oh. Current objective: convince prospective Ia patrons of the desirability of last dreg sustenance. We'll search for potential customers in this vicinity. Can you ask around at the scary stone circle where everyone stares at the sky? Thanks in advance. Scary stone? Hold on. Is it this quest? This one. It's not really stone circle. It's like little stone henges. A venue for replenishment and discourse, you say? We once visited similar establishments. They are memorialized today through the existence of our restaurant, where we traditionalists gather to restore our ether and vent our petty miseries upon one another. Your civilization is young, so perhaps you do not yet understand that one such location is more than enough. Even the most transcendent minds can only withstand so much vacuous discourse. So they don't like small talk. To be honest, I've never been a super big fan of small talk. Because I always feel like both parties know that small talk is meaningless. It's so much better when you have like some legit subject to actually talk about. The corporeal beings derive meaning from patronizing this cafe, you say. Felicitations. Personally, I have long since parted from such material concerns in favor of staring contemplatively into the abyss. To begin chasing hopes and dreams now would be to betray my very principles. But what if you wanted to? Sometimes these guys just sound like, not just the Ia, but these like despairing creatures just all sound stubborn. They don't have to stick to their ways. It's almost as they do it even though they realize like maybe they wouldn't need to. Oh, hey, Joe. What is your report, Gaddis? One would think they could at least show a little bit of respect to you, of all people, out of self-preservation, if not else. The probability of further developments on Elysian is now infinitesimal. Uh-oh. No, I refuse to give up. Their terrible attitudes are all the more reason to make them see the light. Between the three of us, we will get them to enjoy themselves. Implicit threat acknowledged. Initializing joint operation protocols. However, this unit must also acknowledge the non-zero possibility of failure. In such a scenario, the odds of ever securing the patronage of the Ia and Nibiruun must be revised to hopeless. Projections indicate that the business may not survive this outcome. You're as bad as they are sometimes. You know that? Gaddis, you mentioned that the Ia once offered you food, did they not? So they don't consider themselves beyond the concept of repast. There must be a way to build on that to make them understand. Well, yeah, they tried to let me eat ether, which I was not able to do, so that was not very successful. Oh, Joe, so I also mentioned that I will be doing KOTOR on Saturday. I've been trying to get I already had it partially installed, and I think I'd started installing certain HD things to it. So I tried to update the UI and everything a little bit over the last day or two. It's complicated to set up because I couldn't remember like what I had installed and what I didn't. And it's very fragile because if you install too many things, it starts breaking other shit. So I think I got just enough installed. There's a whole like restoration mod, but when I was looking at it, one person said one of the new sections they added actually kind of fucked with the pacing, and also like a lot of the dialogues and stuff that were re-added were just kind of minimal, and they didn't really have a ton to do with the plot. So it doesn't actually sound that important for me to reinstall it. I still have, not that I never go dark side, but I still have the dark side Karth mod, and that's probably the only, I mean, not that he's dark side, but that you can do the dark side Revan ending with Karth successfully if you use the mod. But that's the only like content mod I ever had for the first one. All right. You interrupt my staring once again. Curious, is this a physical compulsion? No, we're simply seeking an enlightened opinion. You seem very focused, so surely none would be better suited to answer a few questions. I suppose that would be within the bounds of my principles. And as time is inherently meaningless, you will not cost me what might otherwise have have mattered. Pray wait a moment, and I will see if other rationally minded individuals are interested in this diversion. Huzzah! I leave the debating to you, Gaddis. See if you can stimulate their inquiring minds enough to draw them to the cafe. Oh boy. I was not successful interacting with these little ghost Pokemon before. Okay. As the resulting pontification may take several minutes, you may wish to cancel... Oh god. Let's try to attempt to stimulate them. Do I have the mod that fixes cutscene between Revan and Karth and the last... Oh shit. Oh, well, no. So that's not really a bug, right? It just looks bad. I've only been fixing things that are like legit like issues. So I'm afraid to like mess with it too much. When I was saying when I looked at it before, I haven't played that game since 2013. So it's been almost 10 years, which is pretty crazy. Truly, there is not like a rousing examination to take one's mind off the ceaseless torment of existence. Should we start with 350,173 questions or so, as is customary? Not that many questions. No. 350,000? I was thinking more in the neighborhood of 3. I see that in my cognitive agitation, I neglected to account for your base intellects. Carry on with your paltry queries, then. Ouch. Do you have an interest in gustatory sensations? Do you enjoy a good meal? Well, I should talk like they do, so let's try the first one. You know, Urianger would probably be a really good persuasive voice with these guys. We long ago abandoned the pursuit of gustatory sensations. Though we yet consume ether to sustain ourselves, we do not experience any particular sensation beyond the satiation of hunger. That is perfectly sufficient. Though I am curious, you indicated that many beings gather to consume sustenance at your cafe. Do these beings experience gustatory sensations in unison? Does this not confuse and upset them? Why would it upset them? Oh, you like the design? They're creepy a little bit because sometimes when they talk, their head separates from the rest of their body and like becomes like a little floating ball. But I was saying they look kind of like some kind of ghost Pokemon. Quite the opposite. Taste is key to customer satisfaction, and our customers are very satisfied, I assure you. So the EA basically were so advanced of a race that they transcended physical forms and became these like weird ethereal ghosty forms, which meant that like they don't really need to eat, but when they eat, they just eat ether instead of, you know, food. But they also found out as they became smarter and smarter, just the futility of existence. Because it's like the same people that are like, oh my god, in 10 trillion years, it'll be the death of the universe. What will we do? There's no way to stop it, so why bother? You know, it was that kind of like nihilism that essentially doomed their race. This human concept of love confuses and infuriates us. Well, that's the thing. That's probably more like these guys, the Omicrons. These guys, at some point when they used to be the equivalent of human, understood it, but now they've transcended past caring about it. Curiosity detected. This unit concludes that your question piqued their interest. The diminutive being suggests that gustatory sensations are a primary consideration for your establishment. Biologically, however, these are not more than a secondary mechanism to prevent primitive organisms from starving to death. Explain this contradiction. Biology is not the only determinant of a good life, you know. Perhaps to truly comprehend our argument requires tasting for yourselves. Yeah, maybe we can convince them with food? Oh, there goes his head. Perhaps. It is conceivable that, having dispensed with our corporeal vessels, a prolonged absence of sensations experienced by the way of the nervous system has limited our imaginations to a degree. If only we had possessed the forethought to record our gustatory perceptions for posterity. An unfortunate oversight, to be certain. Yet not an insurmountable one. If you were to visit the last dregs, we could help you reclaim some of the knowledge that was lost. That's a convincing argument. Enticement detected. This unit proposes following this conversational trajectory to its natural terminus. Oh, why did the music change? Maybe it changes when we actually convince them? Though I acknowledge that there is some logic to your argument, we are perhaps at an impasse, given our form's lack of physicality. Nevertheless, I'm curious to know what manner of taste you would present us with, had we gustatory organs. The best taste in all Ultima Thule, nay, the universe. A taste of your former lives as corporeal beings, perhaps. I'm hesitant to say the first one, because that's promising something we might not be able to live up to. But they seem really interested in regaining lost knowledge, so maybe their former lives as corporeal beings? Indeed, it is rational to assume that as corporeal beings with unique gustatory organs, we too once found certain sensations particularly stimulating. If your cafe is capable of providing knowledge of such long-lost sensations, we would welcome the experience. Now, how do we get you to successfully eat it? If anyone can do it, we can. We served a variety of civilizations already, with great success, I might add. Operational success imminent. Allied units must remain engaging for critical final phase. Okay, so last question. The preparation of historically accurate sustenance will be no simple task, yet the hirsute being insists on accomplishing it. Is this compulsion intrinsically or extrinsically motivated? It is our deepest and most heartfelt desire to see hope restored to the universe. My journal does suggest that making you happy will progress my current quest. Am I gonna fail this if I say that? My journal does suggest that making you happy will help progress my current quest. Is there such a thing as an instant fail here? This is extremely meta, which makes me want to say it. I'm going to try it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I have to do it again. And increases in customer satisfaction leads to positive changes in nearby dynamis? How mathematically sound? I see now this was all a game to you. That is fair enough, given my own reasons for participation. Yet this behavior is quite unlike the primitive organic beings of our records. I grow increasingly uncertain of your ability to fulfill our desires. Uh-oh. Well, I got the other questions right, so hopefully it's still enough. Our wish to recreate the EA's favorite flavors is extremely organic, I swear. Primitive, even. Though the EA delight in logical argument, acknowledgement of their place as gears in an unfeeling machine of progress has distressed them. Analysis indicates their expectations of allied units has been dampened by this display of cold rationality. Okay, so that means I had to do one more question then to fix it. In any case, so I got enough of them right that it worked. In any case, mission objective complete. Allied units' performance will be logged as capable. But how do we get them to eat it? They don't have corporeal bodies. They can't consume things normally. We see that you indeed had a few questions. When may we partake in the sensory experience? Well, first we need to prepare a full course for gustatory experimentation. Experimentation, you say? That sounds most agreeable. What? This is the goofy music. If this unit may suggest it, Gaddis's flesh would make a suitable medium. Oh god, don't have them possess me. Are you kidding me? Oh, I quite agree. No one has tasted more taste than the intrepid Gaddis. His palate is refined and his bravery unmatched. He will be the perfect candidate to try any and all dishes we prepare. Then you need only scan and transmit the sensory perception data to the EA's consciousness. Okay, so they don't take over my body. We just copy the data of me eating something? I mean, that still makes my poor character a guinea pig, but whatever. He's like, I guess. It is unclear at present what their people may have eaten in their corporeal days, but we can begin by finding out what sort of taste they enjoy, then refine the recipe from there. Regardless, we'll need to fire up the ovens immediately. Last I checked our inventory, the kitchens are well stocked with vegetables, fish, and Charlian cookbooks. The probability that Ia's historical diet was identical to that of the life forms of Aetheris is astronomically low. This unit proposes incorporating ingredients from other worlds as well. I mean, if you start involving food from other worlds, who's to say it's not going to make my poor character sick? Or it might not even be edible. Scanning flavorsome category for ingredient data. Calcite deposits near the ship Ragnarok may contain mineral content suitable for use as an additive. Data indicates that organic life forms love additives. Don't hesitate to taste test in the field. Just start licking rocks. Remaining allied units should proceed to the last dregs for recipe analysis. This unit will answer any further customer questions. Huh. So it sounds like they wanted me to get, like, space salt. Oh, stellar magnesium. Is it healthy to just straight up eat magnesium, though? Additives. I don't know if that's just a funny statement of society or what. Definitely would need like a Homer Simpson voice for that. Fattening. Alright, where? Oh. How many do I actually need? Oh. Alright, just that. Okay. Wait, no, it's not. It's not healthy to eat a ton of magnesium? Or is it not that harmful? I mean, ultimately, everything needs to be in moderation. I think one of the problems in society today is that as soon as somebody says something's good for you, then everyone's like, oh, so I should eat like 5 times as much of it, right? Like, I mean, fuck, water could kill you if you drink too much of it. I mean, admittedly, you have to have a lot of it, but, you know. The EA have thus far asked for 81,120 questions. This unit can feel the last remnant of its patience slipping. Alright, well, before you do that, here's some magnesium. A timely rescue. Chemical composition of ingredients within expected parameters. And let the experimentation begin. I see a fucking hamburger. What is that? Pasta? And just a straight up fish. Oh, that burger looks kind of good though. It's got some secret sauce or some shit on it. How is some of this like, I guess the fish because it looks like a fucking alien scorched fish is like the alien food. These don't look like alien foods. There's some magnesium in foods and you can take supplements for it, but you probably shouldn't. Yeah, that's what I figured. Don't start chipping off rocks and just eating them. Not half bad, if I do say so myself. Dig in, Gaddis. Initializing progressive scan of gustatory inputs. Oh. All right. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Which one would I don't want to start with the fish. Oh, what will I eat? The perfectly ordinary pasta. The seemingly innocuous hamburger. The vaguely terrifying fish. I mean, I want to eat the fucking hamburger. I'm sorry. Unless you're the goat from that meme. Oh, yeah. Dude, those fucking goats, like, with how they can climb those mountains. They can eat whatever they want. They're talented. You are struck with a sudden certainty that Jammingway either borrowed or stole this recipe from The Last Stand. Although the locally sourced flavoring adds an unexpected spiciness to the medium rare meat inside, your tongue is now tingly. Tingly from a burger? Alright, let's try the pasta now. What is that sauce? A lot of basil on it. The pasta is not unlike that of Aetherius, although the otherworldly flavor adds a tang of complexity. As for the Ia, surely any gluten-intolerant life form enjoys a massive bowl of carbohydrates? The terrifying fish. Unless that's a bad thing to eat. Oh no! That didn't sit well with my character. Was that fish staring into your soul just now? Hopefully not. In any case, its pallid flesh must have thoroughly absorbed the alien flavor. You certainly tasted something. See, that's more of what I was thinking of. Not everything's just going to taste like food you've already experienced. Some of it's probably going to be vaguely poisonous tasting. Gustatory data received. Transmitting to patron 07 and 08. What's the result? Oh. So these are the flavors of which you speak. Thank you for helpfully categorizing each as sweet, salty, sour, bitter, or savory. I fear I am quite overcome by the medley. It is impossible to say whether this sensory assault is identical to what I might have once felt when consuming sustenance, yet it is a useful reference to ruminate upon nevertheless. Then it was well worth the effort in my book. Tell me, did any of the dishes strike you as particularly enjoyable? The first stimulated me in a most pleasing fashion. How was this flavor derived? That was flavored with local ingredients harvested by Gaddis, garnished with powdered miracle shrimp, a type of crustacean the Grepuloffs are farming in Elysian. Pulverized crustaceans? The nature of gustatory sensations is inscrutable indeed. That we found these ones pleasing perhaps indicates that we too once consumed mutilated decapods. That just makes it sound disgusting. I cannot imagine why we would have left that behind. I am grateful to have even simulated the experience. Maybe they'll want to get human or corporeal bodies back? And there we have it. Do you think this will be enough to bring about more changes to Elysian? Inconclusive. This unit proposes that alien unit to send to scan for signs of change. My guess is no, but maybe I'll be wrong, because there was that other group. Oh wait, are they there? These creepy ones were actually part of the dungeon. And the two other dungeon races were the ones that actually made change in this area. Unless now they're curious. I'll have to find out. Stigma 4 confirms that alterations have occurred. Let us proceed with the scan. Oh, it did make something. What? A little alien, like a saucer alien. Is that what they used to be? Or are they like pets? What the fuck? Wow. It certainly looks bigger than the other two realms that we created. These creatures certainly weren't here before, but what are they? They put me in the mind of Aetheris's jellyfish. No results found in database. Furthermore, these life forms differ from the simulations in Ultima Thule on a molecular level. You mean a new species that's been born here? Is it so illogical? Elysian's climate is suitable for the growth of complex vegetation, and a significant portion of its surface is occupied by sea. Many life forms have arisen from similar environments. This unit would venture that under these conditions, the EA's yearning for a corporeal past were sufficient to cause dynamics to coalesce as organic life. That's incredible! New life. Me, burble. It's a Pokemon. We created a space Pokemon. And such very adorable life you are. Yes, you are. Like unto newborn babes, or so I assume. Eons have passed since we Ea have held a child. Yet it is not conceivable that some part of us remembers. If these creatures arose from our fondness for the past, they're like their versions of dogs. They may indeed be the nascent forms mentioned in our ancient records. I do see a certain resemblance. Would you like to give these little ones a name then? Yeah, what are you going to call them? We lost the meaning to our names long ago, leaving us only with a simple phonemic system that we now employ for individuals. The suggestion that we might impart this God, I'm tongue-tied tonight. The suggestion that we might impart the significance of these children by a nomenclature is depressingly ludicrous. Nevertheless, we shall call them Mew Missive. A peculiar name to share, perhaps, but one we may find the meaning in together. I cannot spell that to save my life, but it sounds lovely. I mean, they say that, and yet many Rogadin names literally look like somebody just mashed their hand on a keyboard. So, yeah, everything's, it's perspective. I should like to remain here with the Mew Missive for a time. They doubtless know much of gustatory sensation and other such facets of corporeality. In serving as their guardians, we may yet reclaim some of what was lost. New life has arisen from EA's longing. Nurture and protect the Mew Missive, for they have much to share. There is yet room for Elysian to grow and change. What other hopes will the power of Dynamis bring to life? Well, there's no more land, but, I guess they're indicating this could crop up as something right here? It still does feel like sections of an amusement park, though. These are relatively small places. I guess everything's got to start somewhere. It'll be a great deal more difficult to focus with those creatures about. They're so wibbly-wobbly. I mean, it's also equally hard to concentrate with tiny little bunnies around. This unit requests you contain yourself. Energy levels are already low due to patrons' ceaseless querying. However, this unit does admit to curiosity regarding the new life forms. Though it is probable that the Mu Missive share data with EA's genetic memory, possibilities for their development are infinite. This differentiates them from other Dynamis-based life forms. Or maybe they're just one more indication that you lot aren't doomed after all. This place was built for endings, it's true, but we have seen many a beginning. Let's keep that trend going, shall we? Affirmative. Our mission remains one constant among many variables. What a random ragtag team we make. Okay, respected. New daily quests are available. Undertake 3 additional quests. Okay. See if I get new goods. Where's the person or the robot? Lumini. Floating ball of fleshy horror was bottled after an Ia who failed to regain full corporeality. Oh boy. Do I want that? Yeah, I'll get one. So what does this look like? Oh, it's just like a sphere. A Stigma 4 product, manufactured as a warning for those Ia who might rush into attaining a fleshy vessel before properly recalling the shape of their corporeal form. For those yearning to experience the taste of ice cream, however, the reward may be worth the risks. Oh, so it's like a failed body. But it's just a sphere? Alright.